To impression.
I am one full impression.
I am one full impression.
Oh dear.
One with the impression.
You guys are terrible sometimes.
Sometimes.
Oh wait.
Damn it! I need to up my fucking game then.
Up your game.
I need to be terrible all the time. Damn it.
Get better.
Please don't do that. Jesus.
That was necessary.
That was unnecessary.
It was necessary.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yes. Like the more I harass and annoy you, the more necessary it becomes.
Right. So Valkyrie will be here in a moment, which is good because that will be the full team at the scattering field, aside from Red, who has made his way back to the ship. If he comes in later, he will have actually made his way back to the team, but we shall see.
I'm sorry, Merrick, you don't actually get to play this session.
No.
It's just
Merrick
gonna be
No one likes you, so.
I'll just sit here and drink. It's fun.
No. I don't know whether I don't know if Merrick's trying to guilt trip us or if this is actually what he wants secretly.
I was gonna say no. That's actually just what he wants to do.
You'll never know.
A little bit of both.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
When we left off.
Oh no, severe frostbite.
When we left off last week, half the team had landed at the scattering field, which you can now see on my lovely map of a planet that I googled like 10 minutes ago. Shush.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the lovely is in quotation marks.
Oh yes. They're up here on the northern area of the planet. at the scattering field, and the others had ODST dropped to Lutania, which is the capital city, which is about 1,000 miles to the south.
Yeah, get fucked, boys.
Now, the issue we have is half my players, again, have not turned up so far. Most of them are probably still asleep.
But it's not the same half.
No, it does keep changing. We do have a Merrick today, so the ODST Grim will have a voice.
Jeez.
And he is also the only player who's turned up who is actually at Lutania, which makes things awkward. Hello,
Fine, I'll
Valkyrie.
just sit here and drink.
No, you will have shit to do. I will make sure of it. And we also now have a Valkyrie, so our third member of the team at the scattering field has arrived.
Hello, Valkyrie.
Hopefully Red and some of the others will also turn up when they wake up.
1 people. I was under the assumption it was an half.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that was a very sleepy Valkyrie right there.
She was under the assumption it was an hour later, I think. I can speak sleepy Valkyrie. It's fine.
It's
Yeah, so what she's saying is she loves us all and wants to give us all money.
It's like Cyanide translating Neville.
Yeah,
Boy.
I speak fluent, idiot.
That was actually a pretty good episode.
So, the Elysium Warden is somewhere up here in orbit, currently engaging in combat with a corvette, which moved through the lines of the Tantalus fleet to attack the vastly superior-sized vessel, the Elysium Warden. They're not going to end very well for them, clearly. And as such, the team who went down to the scattering field went down in a Pelican and has landed at the scattering field. And they've made their way over halfway from where they landed to the scattering field center, the big supply depot at the center of it. They have constantly been overshadowed by a huge Covenant assault carrier that is sitting right above this supply depot. So it's a good landmark for finding the damn thing. And the rest of the team ODST dropped into Lutania, which is 1,000 miles away. So reinforcements from the north, not going to be quick. Winter is coming. So
shut the fuck up.
the team, the team that was at the scattering field recently cleared a gas station. There was a couple of ghosts there. There was a battle that ensued, an elite, a couple of grunts, a couple of jackals, all of which died. Very few scratches to the team.
Oh, damn.
And, oh yes, or if you guys haven't done it, remember your shields have fully regenerated now. That goes for the Spartans mainly.
We had shields.
The Spartans do. The pilot, the marine, and the ODST, and the army soldier don't. Having one person from every branch is just awkward and confusing, but okay.
I thought the ODST did have shields.
Nope. ODST armor doesn't. Or at least I don't think it does.
No,
Possibly
it
the
should do.
post-war one does. But
I'll fucking know.
not the current variation. So,
Oh, I apologise. I've just noticed Discord picks up my keyboard for some reason.
that's alright, it picks up mine as well, so when I'm messaging one of you with secrets things or anything like that, it's just like... It's like, oh my god.
I never get messaged with secret.
That's because you don't
message
know
you
shit.
I just get hate, if I'm being honest.
Look, if you see something like a fucking elite communicating in sign language, then you'll get a message.
Ooh.
Good luck seeing an elite communicating in sign language. They only have
They don't
3
enough
fingers.
to do that.
It's
a very
fine.
determined
Well, they
elite.
have like 2 fingers and a thumb. That's
They're like Ratchet and Clank. It's like fucking a meat hand.
So, we're actually, before we go to our friends over at the Scattering Field, we are going to drop into Lutania with Grim and the other three.
Merrick, you're not in the game on roll 20, by the way.
I should be. Oh, fucking Google Chrome crashed. Bear with me.
Google
How
Chrome,
did Chrome
damn it.
crash?
Chrome has
crashes.
so many issues on my PC for some reason.
Clearly, you just do not have enough RAM to fill the insatiable beast.
I've got so much RAM, it's unreal.
How much
Oh.
you have?
All of the RAM.
I have 10
downloaded-
million gigs of RAM.
He
I downloaded a terabyte of RAM.
He downloaded a terabyte of RAM.
That's not
Yeah.
how that works.
That's
Don't worry,
the-
boys.
There we
go.
go. We have Americ. So,
Why did I get 3 different notifications that you were streaming Viking?
Because he's streaming in 3 different goddamn servers.
no, I don't actually know.
I get the same amount of notifications.
You get
don't
one
you?
from my server.
Back to the game. Never mind.
Alright. So, the ODSTs, well, the ODST, the Marine, and the Spartan, one of the Spartans, have just dropped into Lutania. Grim, as an ODST, you have done this many times before. This is about your 230th drop. And you're pretty used to it. The Spartan is a Spartan. He doesn't care. The Marine, not really ever done an ODST drop before. So he's a little shaken up when you all land. But you've all landed in a pretty close cluster. You managed to make it into the city within about 50 meters of each other, which is pretty impressive. There are also more ODSTs and other such around you. Pelicans coming in. You see pelicans coming in for the base, which is about 250, 300 meters away from you. The problem is the base is also currently under attack.
Yay.
You have dropped behind enemy lines, as an ODST always should, and you are going to have to fight your way to the base, or try and sneak around if you wish. What would you like to do?
I mean, decisions.
Mm.
I'd say we fight through. Solid.
Fight through, okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a city street right now. You know what a Halo city looks like.
Roughly.
Roughly, yeah. There's barriers, blown up cars. We lost Valk. There's blown up cars. There's actually a race in the middle of the road firing its gun at the base. There's a couple of brutes leading about 20 grunts or so towards the base, and obviously you guys are behind it. An elite has turned round and has noticed you after hearing the into the ground of 3 ODST drop pods colliding with the ground. So you have been spotted. And roll initiative. Do you remember?
You'll
how
have to
do
give
that?
me reminders throughout this because I haven't done it in a long time.
1d10 plus your agility bonus, or agility modifier, which in your case would be... Let's have a quick gander. It would
Tens,
be
isn't it? 10 swap.
5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 1d10 plus 5.
1d10 plus 5. /roll.
Jeez, would you
Not
like
rule.
to get for me, as you are the
1d10.
assistant GM, get some of the enemies ready?
Ooh, shit! You got an assistant GM.
Yeah.
I'm GMing for
rolled-
9 people. What do you expect?
I rolled a 10.
Things to say that will always start a fight. Roll for initiative. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. That is accurate.
Oh, my back hurts. Okay.
I rolled
How
a
many?
10.
Okay.
How many you want?
There will be
1d10 plus
assistance
your agility.
from the base, so an elite who
Modified,
has
not
spotted
your
them,
agility.
All right. Yeah.
Shush.
and several grunts and jackals.
I can't pull it over. Well, that's interesting.
What do you mean? You should be able
What
to.
are you, a copper?
Why am I showing it to players?
There we go.
I mean, you don't have to put them on the map, but you know.
No, you do. To roll initiative, they
No,
have
you
their own
don't.
token. Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Bet.
You just do a 1d10 plus whatever.
Oh, well, if you do it that way, I guess. Shut up. You don't know how to play.
I'm the GM. I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah, hold on.
Just a single grunt.
Just one grunt. Wow.
No, that's supposed to be grunts, but fuck it. And brutes. There are about 3 brutes, 20 grunts, but they are past the wraith. The elite is next to it, so
So 1d10 plus their agility modifier, I'm guessing?
yes.
Yeah.
So, geez, how does it feel to be the minion?
To be my bitch.
You know.
Like your heap man, your Skeletor's assistant.
That's the elite.
Basically.
What are grunts?
What are grunts?
Very small.
Yes. I know what grunts are. I'm not dumb.
The elite has a 20 agility? What? The elite has
No,
50
it's their
agility.
modifier, isn't it?
No,
Yeah.
not their mythic
Yes.
modifier. So in the elite's case, it would be 5 plus 2, so 7.
Well, no, that was with that modifier. Yeah. That's fine. That works.
1d10 plus 2.
Yes, that was 1d10 plus 2.
Are we having,
No,
I
it should be
remember how this
1d10
system
plus
works.
7.
Good.
are we having issues, boys?
Yeah.
Apparently I have
Yeah.
to teach my assistant how to play the fucking game.
Yeah, it's 10. The elite is 10. I'm just dumb.
Yeah, no, we knew that.
I remember this system. Sorry, it's been a while since I played one of the Warhammers.
It's
Uh,
not. It's
Oh
not.
my god.
Well, this is based on Only War and Dark Heresy, so...
Yeah, like, come on, boys. I should have been the thingy GM for this. Come on, jeez.
3.
Sorry,
for
it's
what,
been a
grunts?
while.
I'm heckling
Yeah,
you
that's
is what
fair.
I'm doing.
I need to roll for Leroy. Leroy Jenkins! 1d10 plus
Leroy,
McNally.
legally distinct
Yeah.
from Jenkins.
You know, if I was naming a character, I would have totally named him like Lieutenant Dan.
Oh, it's actually
Lieutenant
doing really good.
Dan.
Lieutenant Dan.
And the Spartan, who has a ridiculous agility. I'd like to point out.
It is a Spartan.
That's what my agility is. Wait, is it?
So Leroy is 10 and Maxim is 16. So, unsurprisingly,
Well.
the Spartan goes first.
Wait, doesn't the Spartan get to roll? Oh yeah,
Uh,
Spartan gets to go twice, right?
I
They
will
got that thing.
say that they get to roll twice, but he's not likely to get higher than 16. He's already the highest anyway, so... I'll say Maxim, then the Elite, then Grim, then the Brutes, then Leroy, and then the Grunts. Right, so the Spartan. You guys have dropped about 50 meters behind this Elite, so... I'm gonna say that the Spartan, because I know this is what Wateria would want to do, is going to pull out his kukri and charge the Elite. So he's going to...
Seems like a fair assessment.
He's going to sprint up to the Elite, wielding this knife. If you're not sure what a kukri is, reach. Emil had one on his shoulder pad.
It's a curvy knife.
Yeah,
The
basically.
big ass scary thing that he always sharpened on his armor.
Yes. That's what the kukri is.
I don't
So,
know, leak and jump.
Fun.
oh, of course, an elite can jump. They're like 9 foot tall.
10-meter leap.
Yeah, the Spartans have that as well.
Both are Spartans. Like I guess it makes sense.
Precisely.
We're fine.
So he's gonna sprint towards him, and he's gonna get a +10 modifier for squad up because he's with an ODST and a Marine, and he's going to do a warfare melee check,
Do it.
and he fucks it up.
He just like jumps and lands beside the elite, and the elite just kind of looks down at him and clicks his mouth parts.
Warp.
What, mate?
So the Spartan is going to basically charge straight towards this elite, almost screaming at him like a berserker. And then he's going to make.
That's not how berserkers work.
Shut up.
You're telling the Viking.
They're misrepresented in media.
I don't give a fuck what you say, Tom.
Oh, sorry, no, don't listen to the person who does history. My bad.
No, I won't.
You're telling the Viking how Vikings work.
Yeah, actually I am, because they're misrepresented in media.
My immersion.
So he's going to run towards this elite, and just before he reaches the elite, he mistimes the swing very slightly and just grazes with the very tip of the knife against the elite's armor. Just scratching his armor, but his shield doesn't even activate. That's how limiting the damage was. It just right off his armor. Now,
Well-
the elite.
So the elite's just sitting there. He's pretty angry, you know. The man just jumped at him, a little amused. What? And
The elite says what?
and he turns it over. Does this one have an energy sword? Yeah, you'd say so. Yeah.
He is leading the attack, so yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, and he's gonna take a swing. And oh, that was the wrong one. Hold on.
Well, he's going to have
Hold
to
up.
take half an action to take it out, and then half an action to swing it.
We're going to kill. We're going to kill Walteria
Maybe.
before he even joins.
I mean, if you ever join.
No, we're not.
Hi, Walteria, you're dead. Oh,
No, we are not.
No, we're not.
Why? What are these GM rolls today?
He lands. He pulls it out. He swings, and he, doesn't hit. It just kind of
I'm imagining
swings it in the air.
the elite grabs his
Apologies.
energy sword and like activates it as he removes it and does a swing like that, and Wateria just dodges to the side. So, Grim, our actual player in this lot.
Ooh, marvelous. Do I have a clear line of sight on this pain in the arse elite?
There is some smoke and there is a Spartan in front of him. However, the Spartan that's in front of him is 7'2". The elite is nearly 9 foot tall. So yeah, you have a clear line of sight on his head.
Can I
You
try
will
and
fire
headshot
a round straight over the Spartan's head.
Can I try and shoot him in the face?
Yes, but if you miss, you may impact the Spartan.
That's fine. Spartan can take it.
No, this man gets my approval. He knows what's up.
So,
Right.
I will give you.
Let's not forget my lifestyle is a wise guy with weapon training, so I'm probably that arrogant that I think I can make this shot.
Well, are you going to use half an action to aim?
Yes.
No.
Because you already have drawn your sniper rifle, so.
I don't want to hit the Spartan because he'll fucking fist me. So I'm going to take half a thing to aim.
Okay. So that's a +10.
Let me remember how weapons work in this. There's weapons.
You want to do a warfare ranged check, and then when modifier comes up, put in 10.
Where's warfare on here?
And
Warfare,
you're
no,
calling a
warfare
shot of a
melee.
headshot, so I'll give you plus 10 for that as well. So that's plus 20 you want to put in there.
So warfare, range check, modifier 20.
Blammo.
Submit.
Roll damage.
Ah,
1 round.
where's my weapon?
Stop being so good.
I mean, he's a sniper.
I always forget how you roll damage.
You click
click
on
the
the-
roll.
Roll on
Yeah.
the ranged weapon.
There we go.
Jeez,
my elite boy.
what does that do to the elite?
Decapitated,
Well.
I hope.
His shield definitely drops. Most definitely.
I'm pretty sure the damage resistance alone did that, didn't it? Oh, the damage
Sorry,
No,
reduction.
he gets 50 points of shield.
Is that 25% pen? Or
Yeah.
25 points of pen.
It's a sniper rifle. What do you expect?
Oh. Yeah, I just realized that. That goes through 25 points of his shield, doesn't it?
Yep. And that removes.
He dies.
Yeah.
I
So-
mess with that chief.
The Spartan. He is. Merrick is actually the team leader. The
You're welcome, Spartan.
slices towards the elite a little bit too early, misses. The elite retorts with an energy sword, trying to slice across him. He was still a little bit too far back, so the energy sword misses him, and then, and it almost goes slow motion as this round goes straight over the Spartan's head, missing by about an inch, and the elite's head just cracks back as his entire head explodes.
What?
An alarmed wart. Alarmed in Sanghaley.
It's right about this
What?
time that all the grunts start running around with not knowing what they do.
Oh no, the brutes are still there. So, well,
Goddamn brutes.
the brutes won't inspire nearly as much courage in the grunts. The grunts will, at minimum, take a little bit of control. And
Alright.
all of the brutes and the grunts are in front of the wraith. They didn't know about your presence until they just heard. And
It's
now
fine,
they've
they can
turned
come get
around
some
and
too.
looked at you.
Poor dude. He's just hanging out.
He's
He's
now got a
feeling like
hole
a
through
little
his
bit-
head.
Yeah, there's a little bit more than something hanging out of his head.
Also, I'd like to point out his brains are now splattered over the back of the wraith.
Chief, that just ain't it.
Alright, well, you know, the brute sees this. He's like, whoa, man, that was a little much.
Whoa, bro. Whoa. Whoa.
Well, slow it down a bit. Alright. And he's just gonna roll himself a warfare range check.
Boys, we just need to keep it. We need to keep it 100 with you, boys.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
no, that is a success.
I
You
mean,
got
it does
41
pass,
out of
so,
40.
Alright. And then he's just gonna, you know, pick up his brute shot, point it at you, and
Fucking hell, he's wielding a
roll it.
brute shot. 1 round flies from this brute shot. Luckily, Merrick,
you're lucky I didn't fire two.
you were standing behind the Spartan. You were almost exactly behind the Spartan as you took this shot.
Chief, the
So
spawn's dead.
The brute definitely fired at you. The Spartan just got in the way. And the Spartan takes all that damage to the face, and you see his entire shield light up, and then just fade back down. You imagine the Spartan is quite pissed now.
Chief, he's dead.
The brute's eyes just kind of widen as he realizes what he's done.
Whoops.
Alright, that's it. He's just gonna stand there and stare. An idiot.
Stare dumbfounded.
Thanks.
So, Leroy McNally, our Marine.
Leroy
He's
McNally.
now stood here dumbfounded about what's going on.
Little shocked about what's going on.
I did not sign up for this.
The lack of skill in this battle.
The Spartan and the Elite have both fucked up. The ODST then blew the Elite's brains clean out.
And the brute barely hit.
Chief, this just ain't it.
Oh, definitely not. So Leroy is going to take a warfare ranged check against the brute. He succeeds.
That's Caracul the Risen. He's pretty cool.
And
No.
he is wielding a MA5 D that I have to find on someone else's sheet because Conqueror hasn't filled it in. Conqueror, looking at you, bro.
Chief, you are 100% dead.
Fires 2 rounds, semi-automatic.
No.
Chief, I ain't fucking
The
with
first
that.
shot like hits him in the knee, and he's like, ah. And then the other shot hits him in the
Oh,
head,
my knee!
What?
and he slowly dies. All right.
He slowly dies, or he just.
That's so sad.
Poor
Can we
brute.
get an F in chat?
It was yeah, F in chat for the
Can
brute.
we get an F in chat for the?
F to pay respects for the brutes.
Yeah, can we get F in chat for Pro?
I love how
He tried
Merrick's
so
the only
hard.
one who does the capital.
He was the most successful of anyone else in this battle.
So
Also,
far,
Merrick, you gotta change your name.
No. I am channeling my Reclusiarch into this battle.
he's gonna start beating on them with a stick.
No, just change it to your character name, so it's not.
My character name is Grim. Shortened. for
Yeah.
this.
Oh, it's Grim
literally
short for
short.
fucking Grimaldus. Of course it is. God damn it.
Yes.
How have I only just realised that?
What a wanker! Sorry, hi
Alright.
Merrick, hi, buddy.
Fuck off.
The grunt, barely holding himself together.
There is still a brute alive.
Oh, there's 2.
There were
Oh,
2
huh.
brutes, yes. One of them is now bleeding to death on the floor.
Something
quite
has,
You sound so surprised.
something has crashed in the background of my PC, and
We
the
should
only thing
probably
that's
put
now
him in
working is Chrome.
initiative. Oops, by the way, the brute's initiative. Alright, well, he, still looking quite scared.
There are also
It's gonna
multiple
sell-
grunts, I'd like to point out,
Can
not
you-
just one.
How
Can
many?
brutes
There's
look scared?
about 15 to 20 of them. But they're scattered across about 25 meters towards the base, so they're varying between like 50 and 75 meters from you lot.
Are any
Boys.
other weapons in range?
Boys, my question is, can a brute look scared?
Grunt weapons should be in range, yes. They will suffer a -10 because they're grunts, they're pissing themselves, and they're at a longish range.
Holy crap. 0.1 degrees of success.
Whoa, what the fuck?
That's a,
How did I roll it like that?
I don't know. I want to know, though.
Wait, hold on.
40 minus 10 minus 1d100 divided by 10.
Yeah.
what the fuck did you use?
Yeah.
How
What
did...
did you press, man?
40
Yeah, what did you
plus
press?
negative 10 minus
I just
10.
put in a -10.
I think it's because I subtracted 29, and so it's not an even number.
No, we're on about how he's got the GM uses their needler to try and shoot and achieves -0.1 degrees of success, rate of fire 6, mag 18. What the fuck?
Hold on. Well, that's just what I do normal.
Okay.
1.6.
Chief,
It's-
it's just like it.
Alright, so you...
He hits.
He hits. Who does he hit?
Oh,
The only ones
probably
that
this
he
one.
can see is the Spartan and Leroy McNally, because Grim is still actually directly behind the Spartan. And
Where
Yeah.
I shall always remain.
the grunt
He's
the
gonna
grunt
fire
is
at the
just like, oh god, it's a demon.
Demon.
Demon!
Wow, that did a ton of damage. Why did that do so much damage?
Plasma is ridiculous.
Alright.
You're getting memed, is what's
So is
happening.
he shooting at Leroy or the Spartan?
The Spartan.
The Spartan? Okay, so that takes the Spartan's shields down to about 50.
To about 50.
Yeah, the needles come flying in, impacting the Spartan's chest piece, and they just off the shields.
Just because of how grunts work, I'm just gonna say one is able to pull itself together to fire.
Yeah, the rest were just like, oh god. And there was like 10 of them who are still focused on the base. Which has seen that there are people behind, friendlies behind the enemy, and are now focusing their fire on these grunts, and they managed to cut down about 3 of them.
Bear with me, I'll be back in a sec. I just need to quickly do something.
Okie dokie.
He's
So,
gone for a danger wank.
oh god. So, Maxim realized that the knife didn't work quite so well. So, he puts the knife away and pulls out his shotgun. And he's going to jog over to the brute, who is currently... what was the other brute doing? Just trying to gather the rest of the grunts together.
Trying to
Actually, no. He's right behind the wraith.
He was trying to ask. I'm pretty sure he was trying to ask Merrick to keep it 100.
Possibly.
Cause
Keep it
at the
PG, mate.
moment,
Keep it PG.
You know, it's like, boys, can we just? He's like, this just ain't it, chief. Got shot.
So, there is actually, yeah, I thought Merrick's computer did crash. So he's, the Spartan is actually standing right behind the Wraith, who is not entirely oblivious to their presence and your presence anymore. And rather than letting the Wraith turn around and get a hit on you, the Spartan does what the Spartan does best, and he jumps onto the back of the Wraith and punches a grenade into the back of it, just like in the games, hops off, and the Wraith explodes in a glorious explosion of purple.
It's just like in the games.
Well, yeah, he could do that as well if he was here and made the rolls for it, but this time I'm going to say he does that because, yeah.
It's like in the video games.
Video games.
Video games.
So the Wraith is now destroyed, and Grim, there is a brute,
Hello.
A few grunts looking at you, a brute looking at you, and the rest are being mowed down by the, well, the rest are running around like headless fucking chickens.
I want to shoot the brute in the face.
Alright.
This is going to be a common theme for me, by the way.
I'm assuming you're going to lean slightly around this. Actually, no, the Spartan has just moved onto the Wraith, punched it in that, so you do have a completely clear shot at this brute. And a cool shot. Are you going to take half an action to aim?
Half an action to aim, yes.
Alright, another plus 20. Also, you
excuse
have
me.
squad up, don't you? Oh no, that's when taking combined actions, don't worry.
Squat the fuck up, boys.
Squat the fuck up, dude. Warfare range, modified 20. And what? I need to roll damage.
Roll
Fucking
damage.
Christ, Merrick.
He's got a sniper
Roll-
rifle and he's a sniper.
Roll damage.
Bang bang.
Jeez. What happens to the brute's head?
So you know, he looks up. What? And you know, it
Brutes
goes
don't
straight
go
through.
ward.
Sorry, I don't know brutes. Brr.
Basically, yeah, that'll do.
The brute goes, and then
Kapla!
It just goes clean through him, and you can see like straight through a hole through his head.
I was going to
right where
say,
his
have
brain
you
is
ever
supposed
seen
to
a
be.
melon meet hydraulic press? Basically what happens to his head.
He just kind of like collapses.
Yep. And with this, the rest of the grunts shit themselves and promptly die to everyone's fire, as they have no leader. There is a demon there, and they're being attacked from both sides. They run around. Some try to escape past you. They instantly get stabbed or blown up or killed. And you have made it to the base.
I feel
What's the
sorry
point
for the poor little
grunts?
Poor
so
grunts.
sometimes they get a bit too ballsy and throw loads of grenades at you.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
Or they tried to suicide charge you with grenades.
Yeah.
sometimes they do. This time they
I'm
do.
pretty sure that's just an elite putting two in their hands and pushing them.
Go on, get out there.
I'm pretty sure. Can't they also fire the fuel rod cannons or whatever they're called?
Yes, they can.
They can?
They can.
Yeah, because I had a couple of them kick my ass back in the day.
Anything mounted?
They can fire plasma turrets and shade turrets,
Those things are pain in the ass.
but they can't move them, not like an elite can. Anyway, while the battle is mopped up at Lutania, we cut back to our team, who is actually at the scattering field.
Wow.
You've just cleared the gas station after some bit of a hectic firefight and then some brutality from the humans that were involved in this fight.
Humans? Brutal? No.
Well,
That might have been me.
Tom turned his shotgun around and essentially baseball batted a grunt's head
Ow.
with the rear of his shotgun.
Fire up.
Valk crushed a Kigya or Jackal's skull against the floor with her boot.
What is wrong with you people?
We
Awesome.
get, we get a little antsy sometimes.
You know shit.
Tom, you weren't
The
even.
best thing was, Valk wanted to do that. I made Tom do that because he wasn't here. Valk wanted to crush the Jackal's skull with her boot.
Valk, I got a lot of respect.
I fucked up that.
Yeah, you blew his brains out.
Blam, 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 blam.
So, you've just
Do
cleared
to
the,
GM, make the enemies.
Oh yeah, I like to brutalize the enemies, make it realistic. So you've just cleared this, and there are 2 ghosts that no one managed to get to because the only one who could really drive it was the elite, and he lost his head pretty quickly. The problem is there's 3 of you, but you are still about 2 kilometers away from the supply base.
Come on,
I
Valk,
think so-
stop running.
Didn't you say there was like a really big antenna?
At the supply base, yes.
Okay.
Oh, we're about 2 kilometers out from the supply base.
Yes, the sniper rifle could probably hit it at this range, but it would be tricky,
Blammo.
even for a Spartan.
I think we should start running.
All right, Tom, you start running. Falcon, I'll take the ghost.
I mean,
take the go. I'll take the shot and then I'll.
it is feasible for Tom to drive one of the ghosts while one of the Spartans hangs on to it.
That's what's going to happen. I'm going to get into the ghost. Going to sit down in the seat.
I'll cling on to the back of Tom's and then
Contrary
when
to
we're
sitting
within
under
acceptable
the
range.
Oh,
Look,
Jesus.
okay,
Okay.
look, Cheese, I gotta make the distinction. Because someone will fucking think I shut on the fucking engine. So,
So you sit on the engine of the ghost.
yeah, so I sit in front of the guns of the ghost.
Yeah.
No, so I
Paint me
start
like
trying
one
to-
of your jackal girls.
I start, firing up. the
What?
ghost
Curb
first.
stomped all over the terrain.
Yikes.
You guys are terrible.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm firing up the ghost, getting ready to leave.
Okay, so you hop into the ghost.
I'll cling
It
on to the
powers
back
up.
of his.
Hot.
Suddenly, a Spartan is latched onto the back of your ghost. You feel the weight as the ghost pulls back very slightly and then corrects itself.
Suddenly, I kick him out of the seat, and
No.
Oh God!
Whoops! I'm sorry. The game.
Yeah. Cool guy, are you gonna do it, or are you just gonna run?
I was just kind of staring at this entire exchange, curious into what was happening.
Do you want to get on the back of the ghost? I'm sure it can take one more.
I mean,
Oh no,
there are
honestly,
two
I'm gonna
ghosts,
hop.
Are there 2 ghosts?
Yeah,
Yes.
Tom,
but
you
there's
idiot.
3 of you.
Oh, okay, cool. Sure,
I'm gonna
let's
hop
go.
onto the back of Valk's ghost.
What? No.
Wait, you're gonna.
Okay, so
Now I'm just
there's one of
imagining-
us Okay, there's a marine driving one with a Spartan sat on the back, and there's just a Spartan sat on the back of the other one, expecting there to be a driver.
Oh my god.
No, I'm just kind of expecting you jump on the back of Tom's ghost, and then Cool Guy just jumps on your back. So you have like 2 Spartans mounted on the back of this
All right,
thing,
boys, let's go.
mounted on each other.
I
No. I thought Valk would
No.
kick Tom out of a ghost.
No, that was a joke.
Oh.
That's what you
Before
do in
there
the
is any
game.
confusion, I'm going to drive off with both of them on the back.
Okay.
No, I'm not on. What? No. What?
Oh no, no,
No, you are.
Okay, so
Jay.
Cool Guy is in the other ghost, and Valkyrie is holding onto the back of the ghost that Tom is in.
Yes.
There we go. So you both drive off. These ghosts are obviously like driving high-powered motorcycles. Very quick, very fast, very agile. More agile than you're used to. Especially because you've driven mongooses before, and they're not this agile. They also don't have 2 plasma cannons strapped to the front, so, you know.
Yeah.
So are you going to close in on the supply depot?
When we get about 1,500 meters out, I'm gonna jump.
Jump. Jump up.
1,500 meters is still pretty far.
Yeah.
She does have a
Sniper
sniper
rifle,
rifle.
2,300.
Okay, that's fine.
So I'll
I mean,
jump
you should
off,
probably
roll,
all
getting
stick
a sniper.
together.
I can
No,
catch
no.
up.
What is Tom and Cool Guy's plan with these ghosts?
Broken.
I am going to.
Roadkill.
I am going to kamikaze the ghost into the front of the building and jump off at the last second.
I would say a Spartan could probably do that. I'm not sure a pilot could because
I'm
it
going
would be
to
traveling
break
at...
an arm,
Oh yeah, you're going to hurt yourself doing that.
but not well. But the thing is, if you can overcharge the plasma cells, I imagine, like
Yeah.
turn into a bomb.
You're going to get hurt quite badly because
Oh, that's absolutely a-okay.
you're jumping out of a moving vehicle traveling at about
Tom.
80 mile an hour.
Yeah,
Tom,
like it's
Tom,
fine.
none of us have medical skills either. Calamity
That's-
days.
It's chill. I'm still gonna do it. Okay, it's my plan.
Okay. So you're traveling down the road. You're about 1,200 meters out from this base when Valk just jumps off the back, does a flip in the air, and then lands, obviously in the 3-point hero pose. Naturally.
That's pretty.
Superhero landing.
Superhero landing indeed, yes. Doesn't break her kneecaps this time, which is always good. And she heads off the road and climbing up the mountain as you and Cool Guy drive on. Cool Guy, what is your plan here? Is it to do exactly the same as Tom? And not hurt yourself because you're a Spartan?
Kamikaze bombing is.
No, my plan's a little more sensible. I'm gonna follow Tom, but instead of jumping off, I'm gonna shoot people with the guns on the ghost.
Okay. So are you going to follow Tom's ghost? Because he will make a hole through the gate for you.
Yes,
I'm going to make a big hole.
Okay.
a big hole in yourself as well.
A gaping hole.
Indeed.
Okay. How would I go? Do I need to do like a mechanical check to go about trying to rig up this thing to explode?
What?
Demolitions also works.
You have
Could be
Covenant linguistics, so
Yeah,
this is in
I
St.
do.
Haley, so you can read the control panel. But,
Yeah, but
you'll
on the
need to do
control
a...
panel, there's usually not a.
Oh no,
There's
this is
usually no thing that
self-destruct.
says,
No.
Yeah, just overcharge your plasma cells.
You will need to do a technology check to overcharge
What
this.
Any modifiers?
Because you can read it, I'm going to say a plus 20.
Oh yes.
Everyone else would have...
Oh yes.
You succeed, and the voice in St. Haley says, warning, overcharge, self-destruct imminent. And you do this about 400 meters out, and bear in mind, you're traveling at about 80 mile an hour.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to jump off.
Okay, so you're going to jump off.
Yeah.
Do an...
I can hear in my mind. Could you please make it like a straight agility check? Because I can do that.
Stunting.
I'm going to say a stunting check.
Okay.
But with a
What
minus
modifier?
20 modifier, because you're jumping off of a moving ghost like a mad
Ow!
bastard. Okay, so...
I do have 72 in stunting, by the way. It's like I was.
Oh, you take 6 damage and you feel something break as you hit the ground. Hard.
My pride!
You're not a medic, to tell the least, but the amount of pain that you're in, you're imagining you've probably cracked 2 ribs and busted your arm, and it definitely feels dislocated.
Ooh.
As you come rolling to a stop. as the ghost goes flying into this gate at about 80 mile an hour. It hadn't slowed down at all, and it just goes as a massive explosion rains out as another ghost goes flying behind it, going firing its main guns at everyone.
And as I drive by, I just say, "Dumbass," to Tom.
Dumbass!
I can't hear you. I'm in too much pain.
No, everything has just gone white for Tom. The explosion is ringing in his ears. He can barely see at this point because he's just so like, oh, what the fuck did I just do? And as this explosion rings out and the guns ring out, the alarm starts ringing throughout the entire
Okay,
base.
I've just come back from being deafened to hear it. Doot doot. What is this, Doom?
They're attacking the supply base, and attacking is definitely what they're doing. Basically, Tom drove a ghost into the gate at high speed and
Oh no, I
attacked.
heard all that. I heard
Broke
all
his
that.
arm, dislocated it as well, and possibly cracked 2 ribs.
You can't break and dislocate your arm. That's like
Yeah, you can. He's broke the bones in his arm and dislocated it out of its shoulder.
Yeah, that's worse than I expected.
You hit the
tasty.
ground on your arm. What did you expect was going to happen? Not only that, you've broken at least 2 or 3 ribs.
That's fine. I've still got another arm.
I can one-hand a shotgun. And Cool Guy has gone flying towards the gate, firing the plasma cannons on the ghost. Valk, you are in position. You see this happen off to your right.
You see this madness.
What are you shooting at, specifically?
I mean, the antenna / array.
Make a perception check to see what you can actually see of this, because all you were able to see before was a small antenna, which you imagined was a measuring field. You're a lot closer, so I'll give you a +10, and you're looking through a sniper scope, so.
Ding.
Okay.
Jesus.
You can see this full thing. It is an interesting contraption. Possibly cobbled together, you're not sure. The radar dish now, you can definitely see it. Looks like it's UNSC made. So you're imagining they probably strapped it to whatever the hell the big purple thing below it is. It looks very interesting. Quite spiky as well. If you didn't know better, you'd mistake it for a mine. But it's got wires leading off to this satellite dish and that. And there's a big purple control panel. And you can see, just behind the control panel, 2 large blue cylinders that are glowing. And you imagine this is probably the control source point for the scattering field, or the power source.
I'll fire at that.
Okay. I'll say a -10.
Ding.
Okay. I would say roll damage, but it's a fucking sniper rifle, so pretty much anything it hits is going to do quite a bit of damage. My point exactly. So while this explosion rings out on the right side of you and on the right side of the base, and the alarm starts blaring, you're focused on this satellite dish, and you spot these blue canisters, and you just pull the trigger. Perfect shot. Straight through the 2-inch gap above the control panel, hitting it, and it just explodes. You're pretty sure you see the dish fly about 600 meters with this explosion. And above you, you see this sort of, as you're pretty sure the scattering field just goes down. And then you hear in your ears, this is the UNSC Elysium Warden. Ground team, the scattering field is gone. Clear the area and prepare for MAC rounds.
Am I fine at my range?
You probably don't want to be close to this thing, as it is a 5-kilometer long super carrier that is about to be macked to hell.
I'm picking my rifle up and legging the fuck out.
Cool guy,
Are there any-
you are within
Yeah.
about 700 meters of this spire.
Please pick
Yeah,
up
are
the
there any
broken
other vehicles that...
The
Am I gonna have
ghost
to pick up
is
Tom?
the ghost is probably the fastest vehicle to get out of there. You can just basically bend him over your lap, though.
Please bring the pilot with.
So
I
you're
mean, I
gonna
could leave him, but I think I'm gonna go pick him up.
swing round and go back out the door, the hole that he
Yeah.
made.
Accidental roadkill.
As you do this almost 180 drift around, you splatter several grunts against the arse of this ghost. And as you come flying back out of this door, Cassius is just barely making it back to his feet. And then suddenly he's moving at about 80 miles an hour in your grip, as you just basically sit him on your lap.
I can show you the way.
He is, to say he's quite shocked is an understatement. But most of the pain and the adrenaline is just making him a bit woozy anyway, so it could just be that. So as you both go flying, Valkyrie has now reached a speed of about 60 kilometers an hour at full sprint. You're traveling at about 80 miles an hour away as well. As you're both doing this, you hear 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 incoming. And then and one round from the Mac goes straight through the dead center of the carrier, and the other round straight through the neck of the carrier. And the supply base below completely eviscerated, as dust comes flying from the ground as the rounds impact. It's almost like a nuclear explosion with the amount of dust that comes flying around. You both get caught in the dust as it comes around, and you hear the bending and breaking of what you imagine is the metal of the carrier as it starts to fall and snaps. The head snaps clean in half, and you can tell the crew is desperately trying to keep this thing up, but it's no good. The command center has just been ripped off from the rest of the ship as it all plummets down, and there's a huge explosion as this 5-kilometer supercarrier basically snaps in half like the Titanic and fucking explodes. Its plasma drives go up. Luckily, as the explosion happens, you guys are about 3 kilometers away from the edge of the supercarrier. The explosion is big, and more dust is thrown up. And you imagine that even the Spartans in their suits, they're probably starting to feel the dust in their bodies with how much is being thrown around. You cannot see shit. Luckily, the Spartans have thermal vision, so you guys can see perfectly fine. Tom, you can't even see the fucking panels right in front of your face. It's that much dust. And you both arrive back at the Pelican in one piece to find a rather shaken looking John standing by the Pelican like, holy fuck. As you see in the distance this huge purple mushroom cloud from this supercarrier. What would
Still
you
only
like to
counts
do?
as one.
The Spartan just goes, still only counts as one.
Viking,
Hello.
you just... Okay.
So, what would you like to do? Your pilot is a bit beaten, to say the very least.
I don't think he's fit to fly.
I am alive. I can fly. I will fly. Fuck off.
You know you're
And I
going to
think
take
I'm
a,
just gonna-
plus, a minus 30 to any of the flight checks.
Yeah,
you
I'm
do.
just gonna tie his ass
No,
down in the
no.
backseat.
No, I am flying.
I would like to take the onboard medical kit out and try and at least break his arm back into position. I mean, put his arm back.
The Spartans have medical training to a minimum that would allow you to relocate his shoulder.
Really?
Yeah, so I'll do
I
that.
have medical training.
Could you please,
All Spartans get a
just-
basic to medium advanced medical training. You know how to treat wounded soldiers, especially relocate shoulders. You had to do enough of it yourselves when you were in training.
What skill is it?
I would say that for the shoulder, you should just do
Medication.
that. But for the treating his broken ribs and that's going to be a Medicaid check or a medication check,
Should we
which
at
is
least have training
4.
in that?
Good job.
Mhm. I'm not going to risk it. I'm just basically going to set his arm and then hand in the med kit and go, you should do the rest.
Treat yourself. Fucking hell. John actually does have a medication skill, I do believe. Yes, he does.
Seeing as my medication level is actually -1.
So, well, yours is worse than Valk's. So,
Mine is.
Valk
I
is
think
going to
Valk-
pass the kit to John, who says, "I'll treat him. You get us to the city."
No, I'll fly. Fucker. No, I'm flying.
As you say this, John injects you with something. You imagine it's painkiller, and you begin to feel very drowsy. And
I want to do a toughness check.
you can do a toughness check all you want.
I am going to try and fight this painkiller. I'm flying this goddamn shit.
Okay, you can try it.
Because he's drugged, I'm going to cold clock.
You took my. I'm pulling the pistol.
I'm just kind of imagining that you just twat him in the face at some point and knock him out.
I'm just going to backhand him with an
You
armored...
took my broadsword. You can't take my fucking. And then I get smacked in the face.
Can we just bop him in the head?
Yeah,
I've already
basically,
done
the Spartan, who is still relatively short, but she's definitely strong. She just slaps you in the face relatively gently, especially for a Spartan. She could knock your head clean off if she wanted. Relatively gently, and everything goes dark. And you are now unconscious. Which makes
Perfect.
John's life a lot easier to treat you, rather with...
I have actually got to go for a little bit, so that's
even
good
better.
time.
Now, it makes John...
I'll just look to John and be like, it's the drugs, and then go and sit down.
It makes John's life a lot easier to treat Tom as well, because he's now no longer struggling with him. So,
Stop resisting!
Valk, what's your piloting skill?
I have a piloting skill.
yeah, you have piloting.
Exactly. Oh, 56.
How is yours so high?
I guess it's
You're flying.
leadership or something.
It's based on
Agility.
Oh, agility. My agility is 70.
Jesus.
So, pilot space.
So,
It should be
it will be pilot
air. But it'll just roll as land anyway.
First, we'll deal with First, we'll deal
Just a
with
few
the
barrel
treatment
roll.
of Tom. So, as you've knocked him unconscious, he's a lot easier for John to treat. He pulls out from the emergency medical kit that's behind the pilot the biofoam, and he sort of shoves it into the armor and biofoams the ribs, causing them to be stable and stuck in place so they're not going to cause any more trouble. It also obviously injects a painkiller as well. Not that he's feeling any pain right now, he's completely unconscious.
You can still feel fully unconscious.
Oh yeah. He then sort of splints the arm the best he can with what he has, making sure that it's sort of in a slinged position, and he then gets the emergency sling and puts that on there, and he treats him the best he can. He's not a doctor by any means. He has basic field medicine training. That's about it. And he manages to get him stable and as comfortable as possible until you guys can get to where there's actual medics. And I would tell Tom that restores 3 of his hit points, but he's not here right now.
All right. So once Tom stabilized, we got to get to the city, right?
Yes.
Can we radio the ship an AI pilot?
You can certainly radio Harmony.
Can I get what's his face to? Oh no, because he went with the other team, didn't he?
Well, he
Luke
now
He's
has
still-
connection to you. The scattering field is gone. You have full connection.
Can I
to
just
everything.
get Lupico to enhance my roll? So is it like a mediocre?
Okay, as the
Or you just-
scattering field goes down and all that's done, you then suddenly hear the voice of Lupercal in your ears after quite a while, it seems. And he will assist you in piloting, yes.
Yeah.
He will add a plus 20 to yours.
So roll it again.
Yes. So, after a false start, you manage to power the ship up this time.
Yeah.
And you manage to... You've never flown a Pelican before. You were taught in simulators how to fly a Pelican, but you've never flown one before, so you imagine this is not going to be the easiest of rides for everyone. You've got about 1,000 miles to fly in a vehicle that you've never really flown before, so it's not going to be the nicest of flights. But
Taking
you
the
imagine
retro.
you'll get there. So you manage to lift off a little bit wobbly as you pull up, smoke still obscuring your vision. Luckily, the HUD allows you to see everything you need as gear comes up, the rear door locks, and you activate the retros and you fly off towards the south, towards Lutania.
You said it was about 1,000 kilometers.
About that, yeah.
All right, so it'll take about a little less than 2 hours to get there.
Roughly.
I just did the math.
Well, you're burning retros, so you're traveling at about 700 kilometers an hour. You're going fucking fast. Pelicans can go ridiculous speeds, but it'll take you about an hour and a half to get there.
No, it'll take over 2 hours now. It'll be about
1,000 kilometers, 750 kilometers an hour.
What? No, well, the top speed of the Pelican's 860 kilometers an hour.
Okay, then it'll take you about an hour and 15 minutes. Because you're only going about 1,000 kilometers.
You said 1,000 miles, which is
I'll be back
different-
in 2 minutes. Just going to
Alright, 1,000 miles then.
which is about 2 hours of flying.
Okay, it's going to take you about an hour and a half to get there then. I don't know what the maths is, but your god has spoken. So it's going to take you about an hour and a half to get to Lutania. But you now have returned to the BattleNet, so you have full access to everything. The ship, the lot. And you can hear on the pilot radio that's in the cockpit about how the battle is going, and you can hear that it's actually been going pretty well. The Covenant corvette that engaged the Warden has been destroyed utterly, which you were not surprised by because it was way outclassed. The Covenant vessels appear to actually be overpowered now and are withdrawing, especially after they lost their supercarrier. They probably saw then that their battle was slightly on the hopeless side, and the Covenant fleet has gone to slip space. You imagine reinforcements will be inbound eventually, but it will take them about a month, most likely, to get those reinforcements here. So you are making your way to Lutania while all this is happening, and the other team has already made it into the capital and into the base, because obviously they landed right outside it. You guys have not as of yet, but you imagine, from what you're hearing, you imagine the battle is going pretty well in orbit, to the point where the Warden is most likely going to be able to provide orbital support for the foreseeable future, unless anything changes. And more reinforcements for the UNSC forces are currently being dropped in Pelicans, which you can actually see now as you approach the city, that there are Pelicans coming from orbit and Huron heavy lifters dropping off equipment and lots of things. And you're about 5 minutes out from the base, but you can also see that this is still a war zone. There is plasma rounds flying around and parts of the streets lighting up with plasma and machine gun fire and that sort of thing. It sounds like a battlefield, and it looks like one as well. So as you come into land, after about an hour and a half journey, Tom has still not woken up just yet. Valk must have hit him pretty hard.
I was holding back on.
Take 15 damage. You were cracked around the skull with a fucking Spartan's fist. So you come into land, and as you come down to land, you see there's a Spartan standing at the helipad with an ODST and a Marine. And you recognize that it's the rest of the team. Roll another piloting land or piloting air check with a +20 because Lupercal is helping you. It's to see how dodgily you land. Hey! So
I show off as I land.
you do a backflip as you
pilot
land.
it.
You've had some time to adjust to the controls of the Pelican. You've figured out her weight and this sort of thing. And as you come into land, you do a lovely fucking pirouette spin 180 degrees so that the back door will be facing your companions as you touch down and power down the Pelican. Very pretty. You can hear Leroy going, and you're pretty sure he's smiling under that helmet of his. And you regroup with the rest of your team. And the medics come and they take Tom away to the medical tent to get full treatment. And unfortunately, the rest of the team isn't actually here right now. So I think that would be a good place to take a 10-minute break.
Yeah.
And harass people to see if they actually get.
Oh yeah. we are now coming back from break.
Oh, cool. I've actually come back at just the right time.
Congratulations, you've also become conscious again.
Woo!
So you've all landed at the. This is going to be the sort of summing up part at the end.
By the way, Tom, we took all your whiskey.
You weren't supposed to tell me.
No, you haven't.
But basically, you've all landed at Lutania. The Spartan did a pretty good job of landing you. You've met up with the rest of your team at the base. You were taken away to the medical tent for treatment. You've become conscious, and you have been treated.
Trying to fight everyone.
Well, not so much anymore, because they kept you drowsy. But you've been treated, and now you're awake. And you've been not returned to duty yet. You've still got to rest for a day or two. But they've set your bone back properly where it should be and put a little bit of biofoam around it to hold it in place. So your arm is going to be a bit more difficult to move, but you will be able to move it. And they've set your ribs back as well, so you're going to be a bit stiff for a few days while that heals. But you'll be fine. And the team all gathers up. Tom rejoins the team. And you are invited to meet the base commander. And they're in a big tent. And there are people moving in and out of the tent, Marines running around and securing ammo, and some grabbing food quickly, and it's an active military base in a hot zone. So there's a lot of shit happening, and as you all walk in, you see a big hollow table in the center of the room, radios and other such around the room. Computers, radios, whatever really, and you see the shaven head of a darker skinned gentleman as he turns around. You turn around as you see the shaved back of a gentleman, a relatively darker skinned gentleman, and you notice some smoke coming above his hat, and he turns around and he's got a cap on and a cigar in his mouth, and he goes, "Reinforcements? It's about damn time." And he takes the cigar out, and a lieutenant walks over to him and goes, "Sergeant Major, here's the report that you asked for." And that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Oh,
Yeah,
I figured out.
advise me
As soon as you said, yeah, yep, I know who it is. I suggested you use this person. Actually,
Oh yeah, yeah. Many people have suggested many things.
Hey, watch out for Spartan Liz.
I suggest more drink, if I'm being honest.
we took all of it.
No, you haven't though. This was your first mistake.
You took his cantina, but there's more on the ship.
Exactly.
No,
No, there is more on my person.
Well, that doesn't surprise me either. But yes, that will be the end for tonight. Speculate.
Marvelous.
You can all speculate for next weekend who
Oh, I
this,
already know who it is.
who this
You can
gentleman
take my-
is.
You can take my
Also,
shit.
Viking, I want to point out the fact that I didn't roll a single time during that entire thing.
I apologize.